Hi guys, welcome to Robin Hood Diaries. Today, let's just say today, instead of this evening, middle of the night, whatever. So as I promoted, this is going to be a three-parter. It's going to be about my travels through China. This is 1977 to 1978, so we have to put that in context probably a few times. So President Nixon had just opened up any diplomatic relations with China during this time. Nixon, whatever you feel about him as a president, which is not much of anything, he was a brilliant statesman, and he pulled off completely opening up China to the Western world. We knew next to nothing about China at that time. So in order to get into China, you had to have reasons. You had to have like kind of really legitimate reasons to be there. Now, my stepfather was a surgeon. He knew other doctors. They knew, I don't know, this manufacturing lady who made bra wires. But it was all under the auspices of manufacturing and medical. That's the only way that they could disguise it. So there was now an entree into what they called at the time routinely Red China. Not China, Red China. So first of all, in order to go, since I was complete inconvenience to my stepfather, more of which you can read about in chapter 4, Monster. So first of all, I had to get straight A's for a quarter, and I was a B+ student, so that was not easy to even be considered to come along. You know, I'm kind of family. So I pull that off. I'm thrilled, okay? I mean, I knew that this was like a place where nobody ever saw. So I was thrilled. I mean, when I got my passport, I was like, you know, shitting green peaches. Oh my God, I'm going to China. Oh my God. I knew enough to know that it was a huge opportunity. But there was these meetings that were supposed to be like orientation, like preparation, orientation, what to expect, I guess what to bring or be prepared for. But they were odd. They were kind of political in nature, not like let's sit around like intellectuals and discuss, you know, China or whatever. But see, my stepfather was a closet communist. He would never openly be that way or infer that, but I knew he was essentially a communist and an atheist, not that that matters. So there was an affinity there. There was all of this electricity between he and his friend within the group, who was a publisher of a newspaper, a communist newspaper in Chicago, out of Chicago, called The Call, the C-A-L-L, like phone call. A very, very, very underground famous. That had to be a total secret. He was like, I don't know what he was, probably, I don't know, making bra wire. So I'll you know, already I'm kind of like, but I was like 12. What did I know? So, freshly 12 and very girly, long hair like this, comes into play in China. So we're done with all these weirdo meetings about like pictures, but not like pictures of China. It was just bizarro. But I didn't care. I was thrilled. Even though my stepfather would rather me vaporize, I was thrilled. So there's the whole preparation. I'm throwing together everything. I'm starting a journal. I mean, you know, diaries were foreign to me. I never even thought to keep a journal of, you know, a grocery list. So I'm starting my journal. I'm thrilled to death. I'm trying to get my straight A's in order to be able to qualify for my stepfather to go, and we pull it off. Okay, all those weirdo prep meetings that didn't seem like quite like doctors and manufacturers talking about going to China. There was some other agenda going to China, and I could smell it. So here we are now. We got plane tickets, okay, so we're going. So the day comes, it's all arranged. We don't necessarily, well, I guess we must have traveled in a group, duh. So we leave from LA to San Francisco. Now, San Francisco, we went to Japan. Now, I don't know how long that is. Back then, it shouldn't be any different. Seemed like 10 hours. I don't know what it is now. Then, so we come to Japan, Narita, which is a city near Tokyo, and the airport. Not necessarily Tokyo, I know it's around the airport. So we take this hopper from Japan to Peking, or Beijing as it's known now. Back then it was Red China and Peking. So we take this hopper from Japan to China. And I'm already like, I mean, I'm not spooked or anything, but it was kind of like, this is like Singapore Airlines to like, you know, Frontier Airlines. But whatever. Customs and everything, whatever. So we're in Narita for a couple of days before we actually get on this hopper into China, which is like this mysterious land. So we arrive in Narita. Okay, so there is a labor strike. I mean, it's just like a full throttle labor strike everywhere. Like, what are they all part of the same union? Oh, maybe they are, I don't know. So it was like zombie apocalypse by the airport. I mean, literally, they were like tearing down practically the chain link fences with like defense, you know, police, whatever. So okay, zombie apocalypse, and here we are in this weird hotel, big hotel. I'm watching cartoons, which is just the weirdest thing I've ever seen. I mean, I know you can't really understand it in a different language, but I mean, I didn't even understand the visuals. I mean, what was going on? Lots of color. So, morning of the hopper, I'm starving. Of course, we get downstairs and it's like, I guess they catered to like you Americans and then like them, which is fine. But all I had choice of was scrambled eggs or fish with rice. So I opted for some scrambled eggs. Not that I wasn't adventurous with cuisine. And then we're off to China. So we gather everything together. We have been through customs. We are done with Narita Hotel. Nico Narita is what it was called, the hotel. And we take this hopper and we arrive into China. Now, you guys tomorrow night, there is no way I can pack China into one show. I mean, to 3 shows, no. One show. I mean, all of, you know, I'm pushing this one. It's going to be maybe closer to 20 minutes because there is so much to cover. Let me see if I can still remember as a kid the cities that we went to, which I could recite. And excuse Peking. Peking, Ningqiao, Wuxi, Shanghai, Canton, Foshan, and I think that's it. And then there's Hong Kong. So we will hear all about those cities and what went down in those cities within China. Because China, like I said, was bizarre. I will tell you some things that you won't believe. I mean, like, I went to a village that had never seen a white person. Okay? There was a gate to the village, and they were all pressed up against the gate staring at us, and I asked the interpreter what was going on, and he said, well, they've never seen white people. Okay. So it was an interesting trip. Interesting going in. The trip, of course, fascinating, and coming out of China is going to be really quite a show because we went from peaceful little whatever to Hong Kong, which is like, you know, if like, you know, Tijuana had like, you know, $1 trillion and then became like, I don't know, Las Vegas and Singapore. I mean, it was just such a culture shock. So we'll get into that too. So we've covered the weirdness of getting into Red China, and now we are landing in Peking. And tomorrow we'll pick up from there, do as much as I can of China in 1977-78, and then we'll do that whole fracas of not only coming out of China into Hong Kong, but then Hong Kong to Hawaii for a while. Because my stepfather owned property in Hilo, which is like nothing. It was like, you know, I didn't even go. It was like bushes and like not even like pineapple, anything. But it was, you know, it was the main island. So anyway, that's it for the prep into China. 1 of 3 episodes. I hope you enjoyed this one, and I know you're going to enjoy tomorrow. And then the day after is kind of going to be kind of funny, actually. Like the culture shock was hysterical. Okay, I'll let you go. Enough like menu of what's coming up. And I'm excited to share this with you over the next few days. And won't keep you, but you know I love you. And it's the highlight of my day. And I really, truly mean that. I mean, I really look forward to coming and sharing with you guys. I know it seems like I'm talking to 4 people in my living room. Maybe that's my appeal, or I don't know. But you are the 4 or 5 people in my living room that I'm just sharing these stories with. So anyway, blah, blah, blah. I adore you for sharing your time, my time, both of our time. And I will see you tomorrow. Bye.